check the chat. I cannot click around on Discord, by the way, because it will change the pictures at the bottom. I gotta quickly get the link of the chat from the live stream because YouTube is a piece of shit and doesn't update chat constantly. Hey, we're live. Let's not entertain that idea. Yeah, out of context, it's really, really horrible. Where the fuck is? Oh, there it is. Okay, I got chat fixed. All right. So, should we first begin with how much everybody gives a fuck about the franchise?
No.
All right. Who goes first?
I didn't really give a fuck.
Wow.
Whoa.
Really? Why?
Never really watched it that much. I watched every movie like once or twice, but it's more just because I was around with friends. There's not much of a can't remember how to train the dragon. Never really gripped me, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Everything of it because it was free on TV. I didn't give a shit about it. It never interested me. Second, millisecond,
Why?
microsecond. It was boring as hell.
Really? That's the first time I hear somebody getting bored while watching the movie.
I'll go next. I'll say I used to enjoy it as a kid, but I don't really care anymore.
Sky, Dart, which one goes next? The thing is, would you care if it meant that the story and the franchise gets ruined?
Well, it's like they ruined the whole story, yes, but like they just make a little bad sequel. I don't really care.
Well, it's not really a sequel. It's kind of like
You've done that with Star Wars 3 times. So.
Well, that's the thing. It's a live action. They're literally turning movie 1 into a live action, which is dare I say,
Dragon is meant to be an animation / cartoon. That's what it's made for, and that's what it should.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I can never really imagine it live action.
Exactly. Like.
It wasn't really good, but how would you turn a dragon into like realistic? Well,
I mean, a lot of CGI.
There's such a cartoony kind of
look.
Design.
Yep.
To try and translate that into a real life thing, I just don't think it'd work.
There's gonna be a lot of CGI.
They have to either like filter the most amount of money into it to get good CGI, or it's just going to be bad CGI.
I would argue that even if they had, let's say they had an unlimited budget and they poured all the money in the CGI to make the dragons look good and everything, like it looks perfect. I would argue that it would still be bad if the story basically destroys what the original was.
Like Transformers stuff, you have to watch like the Transformers.
Yeah, like the Transformers are very, very CGI focused, and like I bet 90% of the budget went into the CGI when it came to a Transformers movie, and the writers were like paid $10 an hour.
I will say that the first few movies were good, so story-wise. Then like the last two, from what I remember, like CGI is still amazing, but story-wise, it went downhill.
Story-wise, the first one was iffy. We had to see what they were gonna go for with it, but from the second one onwards, the story just went out the window. What the fuck? Bixby activated in the background. 1 sec.
We have control over the screen now, guys.
Yeah, everybody has control. No, we're live. But yeah, my main pet peeve with this live action is that they're taking the characters that we all know and love from the first movie and like basically recast them with something that like with people that don't even match them. And because it's gonna be live action, of course it's gonna have a lot of fucking stupid shit that's gonna be replacing the main awesome parts of the movie. Like, can you imagine the flying through the clouds in the live action one? How it would look? It would look dodgy as shit.
Hold on, give me a minute. I left my phone in the bathroom.
Hold on.
They leave it to charge. But I really love the franchise. I would say it's one of the best franchises written in cinema, alongside the original Star Wars trilogy and the Lord of the Rings. Like, if you okay, I don't know how to say this without sounding like an asshole, because it's literally like just pay attention to the details, try to focus on each characters and see what their likes and dislikes are. And if you also watch the shows and the short movies in between, you get a much larger understanding of who Hiccup is, who Astrid is, who even Snout Loud, Fish Legs, the twins. Like, you understand how they function and why they work together as a team so well. Because there's the Netflix TV show Race to the Edge, which is basically between movie 1 and 2. And they explore the archipelago and like trace down the villain from the first series, which was kind of weak. But it was also a Cartoon Network series, so they were limited in what they could do. On Netflix is like plus 16 age rated, if I remember correctly. And the villains in the... What?
Wait, are you talking about Race to the Edge? It's not 16.
Yeah, wait, isn't it plus 16?
No, it's 12.
Plus 12, okay. Well, that's the thing. There's an episode in Race to the Edge that actually got flagged for quote-unquote sexual content, because there's basically two couples, one loving each other way too much in public, and then there's Astrid and Hiccup, which are basically on the low. They don't bring much attention to it. And because the other couple had to be like overly lovey-dovey, it kind of got struck for that, because they, of course, they had innuendos. They have a lot of fucking innuendos in that show. But overall, the show gives you a better understanding of each character and how they get along between each other. And in this movie, I'm sure as hell they're gonna turn the side. Like, if one of the two main characters of the story is getting an actress that doesn't resemble the character, the other side characters like Snotloud and Fishlegs, which are quite important to the team, will also take a beating in the hiring department or character department. Are you all dead?
Are we gonna watch?
Well, yeah. Well, we can't have a small introduction debating the topic before we go nuts with it.
That was nicely wrapped up. Watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking the what? All right. Screen cover is off. This video is made by Audrie Greywind. That's the name of the account and the channel. But she has a different opinion on how the live action is gonna go. Oh. What?
Oh, sorry.
Isn't that basically formulating an opinion on it, or an inference? Like, we can infer what's gonna happen already, based on previous, what do you say? Previous movies that they made, or at least related to the franchise. The latest project was a small TV show called Nine Realms, and it basically contradicts everything from movie three onwards.
Yeah.
So the hidden world in the third movie, you remember, it was a giant waterfall in the middle of a fucking ocean.
I'm not sure I remember that, to be honest. Quite a while ago.
Dark sky.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also asking them. What?
I agree with you.
Do you remember the whole, like, there was like this huge waterfall in the middle of an ocean, and they revisited at the end?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that film.
Yeah, in the third film. Yeah, that's called The Hidden World. In the TV show, The Hidden World was opened by a meteor in the middle of South America or something like that. So we already...
That's supposed to be the air quotes end of the world.
No, not the end of the world. So the
I mean like they end of the world. Like what was that?
oh yeah, they said that the hidden world is at the edge of the world, and only dragons can go get to it. But it was literally like a giant hole in the water. However, in the TV show, in the new show that they made, basically the hidden world is by mountains, and a meteor opened the, like, it made a canyon like somewhere in the mountain range, and revealed the hidden world, which makes no sense since it was like on water, like in water last movie. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Do you really think they're gonna be that accurate with what the first movie is gonna like add? It's gonna be represented in the live action.
They want
It is the same. Actually, it is the same director that did the first 3 movies.
Oh.
Yeah, because the thing is, the director of the movie said that animation is, at least in his opinion, is considered the best medium of movies, because you can literally create anything without being restricted by a giant budget to make the location or find the location, fly there and record. But now he got basically dragged dragged into the live action version. I think he accepted just to protect the story, but I'm sure they're gonna like twist his hand and do some bullshit. So, would you guys agree? Yeah. But if he knew that he's getting dragged into a How to Train Your Dragon live action, why didn't he choose to make like a completely different cast? Like in the third movie, there's like 4 main villains, or there's 1 main villain and 3 side villains, which are basically representing Asia and Vikings and like Europe. So they could explore other regions, because they apparently those regions also know about dragons.
Yeah, but the money giver has the last word.
True, but wouldn't you want to make most money out of it by letting the one that created the world or created the story make a good story? But this is not Disney. This is DreamWorks and Universal. The thing is, this wasn't planned at all. The third movie was supposed to be the last project of the franchise. However, when the third movie came out, Universal purchased DreamWorks, and because they had such a success with the third movie, they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta milk this more." But the story is over.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and if they're gonna do a live action, do different characters, different location, different dragons. Find another type of special dragon like the night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Because then it avoids very many complications as well.
true, and you can say, well, it's not the same canon. It's a different adaptation of the story. And they could turn it into like, oh, it's a legend that got lost through translation and in time. So the principles are the same. A kid and a dragon created a friendship and a bond that united the two and stopped a war against predators and humans. Like, they could have done that with a different dragon, different character. They could have went, like, if they really wanted SJW points, they could have had like a black female cast as the main lead for Hiccup, or quote unquote replacement for Hiccup, because it's not gonna be anything similar. It's just gonna be that she is the Link, or whoever they wanna cast as, to get those like 80 points, I guess, for inclusion. But recast, just grabbing the same characters and making a live action out of it, yeah, you're losing a lot of the strength from the original story.
I agree, yeah.
Considering that they're gonna have a lot of the budget going straight into the dragons, we can all agree that that's gonna be their best bet to at least the dragons look good. Fuck the story kind of mentality.
So that's kind of the main attraction, to be honest, isn't it?
Well,
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, the dragons are awesome. Like, that is the main eye candy. However, they're the eye candy. The main, the core of the story was the bond between Hiccup and Toothless. And whenever they wrote the movies, they had plastered big on the whiteboard, because I've also seen the behind the scenes. They had giant permanent marker, where is Toothless? So they every time they came up with ideas for the story for the other characters, what they always looked at the top of the board for, that's the core. Toothless and Hiccup are the core of the story. Yeah. And they had the same mentality for the TV show. In the TV shows, Hiccup and Toothless are in one place with certain characters, and other characters are in a different place. So whenever they're with the other characters, they're thinking what's going on in the meantime. So nothing feels like, oh, they just got suspended in animation and time throughout the episode. But if they're gonna introduce characters from the show, they're not gonna have enough time to also develop them to a likable standard. They have to focus on Stoic, which is an important character. They have to focus on Hiccup, Toothless, Astrid, Gobber, because Gobber is basically the father figure of Hiccup, kind of like Yandu for Star-Lord. And there's also Snoutlout, Fishlegs, the twins, which are very comedic in their own specific way. Like, whoever wrote the twins needs to be there to make the twins work. They also have to get the Red Death right, which is another giant fucking behemoth of CGI. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They have to focus on Stoic. Like, if they get Stoic wrong, the story falls apart.
Yeah, man.
Arson replied in comments on the chat. He said, Stoic is my man, how dare you. Well, yeah, I love what Gerard Butler did with the character. whenever Stoic was disappointed, he actually like sounded disappointed instead of just giving a generic tone line. The best not encounter, the best scene with Gerard Butler being an emotional Stoic would be when he gets back in the first movie, when he gets back from searching for the Dragon Island, and he talks with Hiccup about being amazing in the dragon training when they're in that little room in the forge.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, that I would say that is one of the best Stoic being emotional in the first movie. In the second one is when he meets back with Valka. That scene is like amazing. What?
Do we know like anything about sort of the story of like anything like what is sort of this based on? It's like based on a movie, it's based on
It's based on the How to Train a Dragon movie, the animation from 2010. So we can watch it again, Sam and Ben, if you guys want to after this. Up to you. But I'm just saying that the story is very well made if you actually like go through every nook and cranny of information from the world. Because there's again TV shows, short movies. There's a Christmas special that kind of shows how dragons like how where dragon babies come from, how they basically the dragon eggs explode when they come out. So don't have those around in the house. And considering the houses are made out of wood, having 3 eggs under the Christmas tree isn't really a nice surprise. Yeah. What else? There was another point she made earlier. Do you guys remember the scene when Hiccup reads from the Book of Dragons in the first movie, Alone in the Great Hall?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, it's outside is a thunderstorm. The hall, the Great Hall, is basically out of light. The only light in the scene is 2 candles, one on the table, one that Hiccup brings with him, and they open the book. The video was muted.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Basically, as Hiccup starts reading through the book, going through the dragons, through the classes, he can hear us, but not the video. What? Hold on a second. Apparently, we have audio issues. Apparently there's audio problems. Shit. Give me a minute. Yeah, I saw the message, Arson. It's just that I don't understand why. Audio. Oh.
Making a shot-for-shot remake of the.
Oh, I think I know what happened. Oh no. Yeah, we didn't really have a lot of we didn't have any audio from the video. Shit. Oh well.
There's a lot of main points.
We only have 2 minutes. Yeah, we discussed the topics specifically from the video.
Animated film. If they're going to make a live action adaptation, they should at least have some purpose behind it. But it's kind of hard to tell how Dean feels about the whole situation because he has not said a fucking word about it. Which is not that out of the ordinary for so early in the production, but he's kind of acting like nothing's happening at all. Like, the confirmed actors are liking and sharing things on Twitter about it. John Powell posted about it. There are a bunch of famous people who are congratulating him on the new project. And he hasn't responded to or liked anything so far. And not because
Actually,
acting
hold on.
Twitter about it. John Powell.
Do you guys think that looks like a good hiccup?
No.
Nope.
Nah, he's got curves. Yes, he's got curves.
I would.
I mean, it could be worse, but it's certainly not the best by any means.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is a comparison to the movie 2, not movie 1.
But you know, it seems like have you guys watched the Dive Wimpy film?
The what movie?
I can't remember it. I know how, but I can't remember.
Well, the main character, like it didn't look. I will say it didn't look anything like how you'd expect him to talk about the book. But when actually the movie came out, he played it quite well. So.
Fair enough.
Oh no, like the actor could play Hiccup 1-for-1 perfectly. It's just that if he doesn't look the part that can be jarring to a degree. Like for example, Black Hiccup, because that's that's gonna be Astrid in a couple seconds. Because we're gonna have to also talk about the actress for Astrid. And she makes some pretty poor arguments about it.
About it. John Powell posted about it. There are a bunch of famous people who are congratulating him on the new project. And he hasn't responded to or liked anything so far. And not because he hasn't been on Twitter, I don't think, because since the announcement in February, he's liked 2 tweets, one in April and one in May. One is a video of a dude flying through the windshield of a moving bus, and the other is a video of a dude eating absolute shit in a shopping cart with the caption, "Intelligence chases them, but they are faster." Okay. So anyways, let's talk about our Hiccup in Astrid. It was announced that actor Mason Thames has been cast to play the live-action Hiccup, and I cannot express to you how vindicated I felt when I saw that this is who they casted. Because Mason Thames is still a really young actor, I think he's 15, and the most recent big thing that he's been in was the movie The Black Phone, which he...
Have you guys seen the movie? Me neither. Have you heard about it?
No.
That's a bad sign, if you ask me.
Well, yeah.
Also, Hiccup is supposed to be a kid, not a teenager in the movie. Unless they're doing movie 2.
So much acting you can actually get out, like an actual kid, for real. You need a bit more experience.
Kind of the point of why the animation is superior, though.
Oh yeah, completely.
Like, they kind of shot themselves in the foot by choosing a live action.
Played the lead role, and I thought he did really good in that movie. And also, when I saw that film for the first time, the only thing I could think while looking at him was, wow, you know, if they ever made a live-action How to Train Your Dragon adaptation, I feel like he'd play a really good Hiccup. This was a year and a half ago, way before the live-action adaptation was even rumored to be happening. And I distinctly remember that after the live-action How to Train Your Dragon was confirmed to be happening, Jack Dylan Grazer's name was being tossed around for playing Hiccup. I'm sure.
Wait, wasn't that the kid that played in Shazam?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I would argue that would be a much better choice.
Yeah.
Slightly. There's still issues when it comes to like comparing to actually Hiccup, but again, I don't understand why they're comparing it to movie 2 when this is a live action adaptation. The only scenario that's ever been in canon lore that Hiccup and Toothless meet when Hiccup is already a teenager is a what if style episode from the Race to the Edge, where basically the episode goes like, what would have happened if Hiccup didn't shoot down Toothless at that night, and I would argue that is the weakest way that Hiccup and Toothless could have met.
Yeah.
Like they would the story goes like Hiccup wanders through the woods where Toothless crashed in the first movie, complaining about having to deal with becoming a Viking, kind of like in movie 1. Then he runs into Toothless randomly. He doesn't get killed instantly, and suddenly the arch rival of Toothless from the TV show, or like a dragon that has a grudge with him and their grudges go for life, suddenly bursts out. However, he basically finds Toothless 3 years after he actually does in the show. So that it's one of the weakest fucking ways to introduce it. And Stoic and Gobber are trying to attack the arch rival and help Hiccup and Toothless. And Stoic literally drops hating dragons in like 2 seconds. Remember how in the first movie he basically beat the shit out of Toothless to a degree? Like he got it, yeah, he got a few punches in and then Toothless was about to blast his head off. Yeah. There's none of that anger. There's none of that, oh shit, my kid is in danger, and there's a Night Fury of all things next to it. There was none of that parental concern hidden behind the fucking Viking galore. But like, oh, you protected my son from a random dragon even though you're a dragon. Why haven't you eaten him yet? It was the weakest origin. And I fear that they're trying to do something similar.
Honestly, I think I have a bit of faith in the whole thing, because, well, there's been quite a good few movies stepping up their game.
True. Like, the only reason why I am willing to give the movie a chance at all is because of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yeah.
Like, that is the last movie from DreamWorks, if I remember correctly. That's wait, yeah, the last DreamWorks movie before this one, technically. I think that. Is there anything else from this DreamWorks coming out before How to Train Your Dragon?
I don't think
Alright, I guess. Let's see if this one is gonna end up nicely.
Around for playing Hiccup. I'm sure the sources claiming this were completely unreliable, but so were the sources claiming that the live-action adaptation was even happening in the first place, and here we are. And when I saw that Grazer was being considered, I remembered thinking to myself, aw, but that kid from the black phone, he would be such a better Hiccup. I have a spiritual connection with this franchise that I will never be able to explain. So needless to say, I think Mason Thames is gonna do great. I think he looks the part. He's actually 15, which is the age Hiccup was in the first movie, which I'm actually kind of...
What? Does he look 15 to y'all? I would have said 18.
Not at all.
11.
Yeah.
Wait, there was another version around here. Because I would argue he looks 18, it's just that he has a kid face.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he looks like a fetus in his face.
Yeah,
Most of him is normal.
true.
Older.
Yeah, he has like a pretty tall built body for a 15-year-old.
Burke would just become the Euphoria High School and
Oh.
do great. I think thinking to myself, aw, But that kid from the black phone, he would be such a better Hiccup. I have a spiritual connection with this franchise that I will never be able to explain. So needless to say, I think Mason Thames is gonna do great. I think he looks the part. He's actually 15, which is the age Hiccup was in the first movie, which I'm actually kind of surprised by. I was thinking that if this was gonna happen, that Burke would just become the Euphoria High School and all the kids would be played by 30-year-olds. But it seems like they're gonna stay true to their ages. Admittedly though, I haven't seen Mason Thames in anything besides The Black Phone, which was a very serious thriller. So I'm curious if he's gonna be able to handle a lead role in a funny fantasy blockbuster, especially one with such an established fan base, but I am optimistic. And now, probably the reason you clicked on this video, let's talk about Astrid. It was an
I didn't even know about Astrid. This is the first, when I first saw the video, this was the first time I've heard about any of this. And I was like, wait, what?
I mean, I know that actress, she's an actress, but like, what's the thing? Someone like that.
I don't think I've ever seen her.
I
do remember he was in like some sort of horror film I watched. I think. It was really good.
Before I say anything, I want to like get the whole context of her stance on this.
Announced that Nico Parker was cast to play Astrid in the live-action adaptation, and holy fucking shit, internet. I don't even want to talk about the controversy surrounding this. I think it's incredibly unfair to Nico, and I'm gonna get—
Hold on. So, apparently she's against us hating that she got the role. So, where do we begin?
I guess it's pretty similar situation like with The Last of Us. I mean,
Yeah, true. Actually, The Last of Us turned out perfectly. I thought she was going to be a really bad. I thought she was an awful cast. But she looks nothing like Ellie. Yeah.
not at all.
To be fair, The Last of Us 2 Ellie doesn't look anything like Ellie either.
Last of Us 2 didn't. Even worse.
Yeah, true. Like, but that's the bad part. It's still canon. Joel still dies. Ellie still becomes a fucking scrawny looking, 2-finger missing, like, idiot. Because, okay, she went so far after Joel's death, only to turn back a couple years later to go hunt that bitch again, to let her go as she was like 2 seconds away from getting revenge.
Yes. Not really.
That's stupid.
It's annoying.
And at the end, coming back to home, that is empty.
Yeah, yeah. What a fucking what a love relationship those two had, Ellie and the other one that left her. Like, wow, that just shows how much she loved Ellie. Oh, you're gonna go get revenge on your own at least, and not drag everybody else into the mess. Fine, I'll leave. Bye. Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. What?
You guys are after me, sorry.
Oh, it's alright.
Oh, okay.
Might be on
It wasn't nice having you.
You say it wasn't?
I said it was nice having you on.
Sky never is, mate. Don't listen to the lies.
But have a nice one. Yep. Even the point is that even if Nico does a very great job at portraying Astrid, she's still gonna be jarring to accept as Astrid, considering she doesn't look anything like it. And before everybody jumps on the racist card, do I need to? I think I have to.
Because they just, it's not safe.
Well, that's the thing. Remember when Black Ariel got revealed and everybody got called racist for the hate? for hating on not even the actress. That's the thing. The hate isn't on the actress. The hate is on the choice that you can like yeah, like yes, of course there's gonna be stupid people that blame everything on the actress. For example, The Last Jedi, you remember Rose, right? Rose Tico, yeah. She was getting hate for basically Ryan Johnson creating a retarded character to put in the story. She doesn't deserve the hate either, but her character is horrible.
But it's sort of like Ray in a sense, like everyone's sort of, you know, Ray. I'm not sure if
it's not the actor's fault.
Yeah, like
written badly or it's a bad casting.
Yeah, those are two different things. Like a bad cat. Yeah. Well, it becomes really blurry when, let's say, a famous actor does a quote-unquote poor acting job, but that's only because that's what the director wanted from him, a bad line or a bad reaction.
Why would you want a bad line?
Ryan Johnson. When Luke gets the lightsaber from Rey and then he chucks it over the fucking shoulder. Like in general, the actor for Luke did an amazing acting job. No. I was saying that well, the acting is bad because that's not who Luke Skywalker is. If you handed the sword to Luke Skywalker, he won't fucking throw it over his shoulder. He would be like, "Where'd you get this?" But that's what I mean by bad acting, or sometimes bad acting and bad direction get confused very, very often.
Yeah.
Because you cannot blame the actor for having to do a shitty reaction or a shitty face. Because if the director tells you, squint your face as hard as you can when this happens, or on cue, squint your face as hard as you can, that's not bad acting. That's literally an order that he had to follow. Yeah. And again, these are two separate issues that people don't really understand. We're not hating the actress from from Ariel. Called her Black Ariel. It is true though. It's so stupid. Like, Robert showed me a video of her singing live the Little Mermaid song Under the Water, and yes, she sounds almost identical to the original voice actress from the animated one. Like, I was there were moments where I was thinking, wait, is that the original? But again, you can't ignore it. Why not make a character specifically for them? Like, why do they have to replace white characters, turn them black just because? It's stupid. Just make, if you're gonna have if you want to have actors of specific race, genders, or whatever the hell, don't just replace. Yeah. For example, in Shawshank Redemption, one of the was it Samuel Jackson that was portraying a quote-unquote white character from the book? I don't remember exactly. I've only heard that's only what I've heard from like passing posts online. But everybody was saying that the character that Samuel L. Jackson was playing in Shawshank Redemption was white originally in the book, and him being casted was only because of his like acting abilities. And that's like nice. That's the best way of diversity. Like, it doesn't affect if it doesn't affect the character, go for it. But I would argue that it affects something like this would affect the main fucking character, or at least the main cast of characters. Because what about Black Luke Skywalker, or I don't know, Asian Iron Man? People wouldn't like it, even if it is fucking Iron Man or any other movie.
Get into why, but I know if I don't address it, then people are gonna continue hounding me for my opinion until I do talk about it. So let this segment of this video be the last time I address this aspect of Nico Parker playing Astrid for however long I continue to talk about the live action adaptation on my channel. I think the person who initially tagged me in the tweet announcing this casting had done so like 10 minutes after it had been published, and despite so little time passing, I looked at
Like a perfect representation right then and there of the difference. It's jarring.
the replies, and it was nothing but people commenting on the fact that she's a different race than the original character. And if I had a left nut, I would bet it that 90% of all the people who were commenting saying it's not right for her to be playing Astrid because she's black, I believe she's biracial, aren't even people who care about the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
I would argue I fucking care about the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Would you agree, guys, that I care about this fucking franchise enough and it's not a racist remark?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dart, do you care enough about the franchise to like, how do you even qualify how much you care about the franchise? Like, but yeah, where's the line of you are actually qualified enough loving the franchise to decline this? Do you have to watch only the movies? Do you have to watch every piece of media, including the books, including everything? Well, I would argue that if a fan of the franchise gets outraged by a decision made by the directors of the franchise, it's because the fan argued a pretty straight point. Like, if the fan just goes like, oh, why did you I didn't like what you did there, it's subjective. But if we're saying this doesn't portray Astrid well, we're pointing out what's the mistake. It's not the actress, it's not the character of Astrid, it's literally what you're mixing two stuff that don't go together. And we're trying to help you make money and avoid not selling tickets.
Yeah, we cover that point, to be honest.
Just people on the internet who
What?
Playing.
Oh, okay.
see that a white character is being portrayed by a person of color and they instinctively have to complain about it. I'm sorry, but can you imagine how bored you have to be to get so worked up over a franchise you don't even care about? Jesus Christ, at least I have a good reason to hate the Nine Realms. It's been nothing but an attack on
Ben, if I and actually everybody, if I brought to you pasta covered in shit, would you agree that's poor pasta?
Yeah.
But you're not chefs.
Well, what if I take the shit off and then eat the pasta and it's really nice pasta? There's no shit on it anymore. It's just a topping.
No. Like, if I bring you a bowl of pasta covered in shit, would you agree that that's poor shit pasta? But you're not a cook. Isn't that...
You'll say yeah.
That's a claim for authority that cannot really exist. Because if I show you the Nine Realms without seeing anything from the franchise before, even if you don't get the full context of certain scenes because you haven't seen the previous works, you will think that the bad writing is still there and you can still pick it up. Like it, even if it has nothing to do with the lore of the franchise, there are plot points in the episode themselves where characters don't do things that they're supposed to do, and you can pick up on that whether you're a fan or not. Would you agree that you have the right to say it's poorly written or a poor choice?
Oh, yeah.
So her argument falls flat. Whether you're a fan or not, you're allowed to discuss on the topic.
Yeah.
The original franchise since the very beginning. But please explain to me how a person playing a fictional character who may not be the same race as that original character offends you so badly. In case you couldn't.
It's not that it's offensive. It's a change that's not been requested. Again, black Luke Skywalker, Asian Peter Parker. Like, I don't know, alien green Batman. Changing certain stuff hurts franchises.
Tell, I see absolutely nothing wrong with Nico Parker playing Astrid. And Astrid is probably my favorite character of all time in any story ever aside from Hiccup. So if I like the casting, you are perfectly capable of accepting it, I promise you. And the funniest thing to me...
Dart, are you capable of accepting that that's a good casting decision? Ben, are you perfectly capable of accepting that's a good casting decision?
To be honest, I mean,
No rush. You can speak your mind. Sam, are you accepting this decision? For really, why?
Because at the end of the day, you know, the more black people actors there are, the less racism going around.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Sam, which is more which do you agree is more favorable for? Oh,
I'm with you.
Okay. Because you could also play devil's advocate. You are allowed to, since you don't give.
Yeah, but there's no sort of, there's a few, but at the end of the day, there's no reason. Like, what, you want more black people? Well, then make a new character that's black.
Exactly. Like, is it that difficult? Is it that big of an ask from movie makers?
About everyone getting so angry over this is the fact that Astrid has literally never been played by a white person. America Ferrera, Astrid's voice actor for the entire franchise, shows included, is Honduran. The only...
That's irrelevant considering that's her voice, not her physical appearance.
Yeah.
It's like, I order a pizza and it arrives in like, I don't know, a cube shape. Like they compressed it into a cube instead of like a round pizza.
Yeah.
That's not what I asked for.
The only time she's ever been played by a white person was in the Arena Spectacular, and that was just for one tour, because in the second tour she was played by a Vietnamese actress. And also, I swear to God, this is
Again,
not
irrelevant.
a backhanded compliment at all. I was actually really hoping they were gonna cast someone who didn't look anything like the original Astrid, because
Did she just say she was hoping that? Hold on.
franchise, shows included, is Honduran. The only time she's ever been played by a white person was in the Arena Spectacular, and that was just for one tour, because in the second tour she was played by a Vietnamese actress. And also, I swear to God, this is not a backhanded compliment at all. I was actually really hoping they were gonna cast someone who didn't look anything like the original Astrid, because Astrid in the OG franchise is so perfect, you can't replicate her. Again.
Okay, so first and foremost, Astrid in the first movie is not that fucking beautiful or sexualized.
Agree.
Second of all, That's poor representation. Straight up. Oh, I want a Batman that literally dresses like the Joker, but he calls himself Batman. And my cats are acting up. Do you guys have anything to add?
Not really.
Not an insult to Nico whatsoever. She's insanely gorgeous. But can you imagine if they just hired some pasty blonde girl to play Astrid? She wouldn't live up to that. We would all be underwhelmed. So
Would you all agree that we can go on Google, type blonde girls, and find something that's more resemblant to Astrid than what the directors chose?
Yeah.
Would you agree we can do it on Tinder or any other app, social shit, that we can find somebody that looks almost identical to Astrid? Yep. Point rebutted.
was actually really hoping that they were just going to throw out the original appearance entirely and just hire an actor based on their ability to play the character, which I believe they did. If anything, I just feel terrible for Nico, because as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, she's most recently known for playing Sarah in the Last of Us television show, where she also took over the role of an originally white character.
At least she didn't take the role of Ellie. Would do you guys think she would have managed to take the role of Ellie?
Like, you never know.
I mean, you can assume, because you can make logical guesses based on the information you have. So far, off of the information we have, the live action How to Train Your Dragon will be shit. We can be proven wrong. The movie could be 10 out of 10 when it comes out. But from the news so far, it doesn't look that good.
And most of the controversy that's happening right now also happened back when that took place. So like a good chunk of her career as a young actress so far has just been people on the internet getting mad because she's playing originally white characters. And that's gotta be so disheartening to take on a role and know that the major thing people are going to be talking about isn't your acting ability, but
it's kind of like part of the character. Is it important how a character looks?
Actually looking like it.
Yeah, it's part of acting. I don't want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be to play stoic.
I mean, like an actor, Joe Biden in that clown suit.
Oh yeah, like Joe Biden is Gobber, the Smithy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having like a.
And this is going
like
to be
old.
bad acting. Joe Biden do not wear the clown suit.
Jesus. Yeah, it's like ordering spaghetti and you get a pizza. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's false It's basically false advertisement technically, because this is it's like the packaging of a toy. It says Spider-Man on it, but when you open it, oh surprise, you got the Hulk.
what you look like. Nico, if for some reason this video clip ever gets to you, I just want to say I'm sorry that that's something you have to deal with, and please don't let it discourage you. Just focus on being the best actress you can be. I guarantee you 99% of the How to Train Your Dragon fans don't care about what you look like. We just want to see you do our warrior tweak.
Considering
The main girl in the story.
yeah, she's the main character in the story. She's not even yes, you could say she's also the main love interest, but that isn't really pushed upon until the TV show and the second movie. Hell, in second movie they get together, or they've been together for like a while, and that's because of the TV show. But the TV show wasn't released when the second movie was out, so we had to assume in like 2-3 years they got together. which is not a lot. Wait, there was something else that I want to
be talking about isn't your acting ability, but what you look like. Nico, if for some reason...
Well, if you're hired, like, imagine being hired to play a white person. Isn't that insulting to you? Like, imagine you had to play a different, like, completely different background to you. Like, you have to play an African person from a tribe in a movie. Would you, best example, in Black Panther, if they had like white people in the background because they hired them for like a diversity hire in the background. Would that be jarring? Guys? Did my internet go? Oh, I heard something. Oh, Ben's on mute. Dart, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, Sam?
Yeah.
Did you all hear what I said? No. Oh, uh-oh. We have internet issues. I can see Dart like get the green circle now and then. Sam, you always have it on for some reason.
Yeah, but we can hear.
Oh, you can still hear? Sweet.
In this video clip ever gets to you, I just want to say I'm sorry that that's something you have to deal with, and please don't let it discourage you. Just focus on being the best actress you can be. I guarantee you 99% of the How to Train Your Dragon fans don't care about what you look like. We just want to see you do our warrior queen justice. There are a couple of issues that I have.
I won't argue that's doing justice to Astrid.
With this casting choice, aside from that huge controversy though, and neither of them are that important or even really issues, they're more like observations. But the first being, Nico Parker is incredibly tiny. I think she's scrawnier than me, and that's saying something. I was really hoping that they were gonna make Astrid kind of muscly in the live action adaptation just because it suits her character better. Which yes, in the animated franchise, she's depicted as very scrawny, but it's easier to suspend your disbelief about her being really strong because
That's a plot hole for the animation, though. Like, would you guys say that Astrid being scrawny in the animation is a problem of the movie writing, or is a character trait? Straight up, like she's scrawny and strong, compared to Hiccup's scrawny and weak. Sam, Dart, anything?
That's character.
That's character.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
it's animated. But right now I'm just trying to imagine a 5'1" twig throwing around 50 pounds of stone weaponry like it's nothing and how silly that's going to look. Maybe they'll muscle Nico up before the shoot, but the release date is March 2025. That's less than 2 years away. This production is going to fly by if they want to keep that date, so I imagine everything will be happening really fast over the next year. I doubt they'll have time for any of that. And the second issue I have, it has absolutely nothing to do with Nico. It has to do with a character she's played in the past. And it is the most petty reason for disliking a character you have ever heard in your life. Strap in. I'm sure it will come to no surprise at all to most of you that June from the Nine Realms is my most hated fictional character of all time. But right underneath her is Sarah from The Last of Us. You know, Joel's innocent young daughter who was shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna head up for a bit.
Alright, take care. Yeah. Dart, would you agree that we can infer from previous works whether somebody can be good or not?
my opinion, it depends on the time. I mean, somebody made something bad like 2 years ago, not at all. But for example, 1 week ago, yeah.
What about 3 months ago? Would you?
3 months ago.
Yeah, like let's say 3 months ago, some actor made a horrible movie, and then in the 3 months after that movie got released, there's another movie with him in it. Would
Then I guess not.
okay. So
3 months is a big amount of time.
so if we have a franchise over that spans over the years, like the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, would you expect the first the live action movie to like respect the franchise and the lore of the first movie at all?
No, because I always see that the franchise and all of the movie adaptation something is just bad.
Do you think it's bad because it includes people of color or SJW related topics in the movies, or is it just because of the writing?
Yeah, because it's forced so much. It's not actually made to make the story better or something, it's just made to make people, I don't know, maybe more happy or something like that. That actually is something like putting a 5 wheel in a car.
Fair. I agree. Like I kind of agree with it. Of course, I have the different parameters for it because yeah, I have a different perspective
and I mean,
on it.
There's nothing wrong about it, but
Yeah, like
too much of it. There's too much.
yeah, like for example, would you expect to have a diverse cast when we're talking about Vikings, or when you're watching something about Vikings? Not at all.
Yeah, wait.
When if you watch a show about Vikings, do you expect to see Asian people or black people or any other races, genders?
If it is on Netflix, yes.
No. Like let's say a movie that is trying to be accurate.
Oh, if it's accurate, no.
Okay. So I just lost my train of thought. Hold on.
No problem.
Yeah, shit, I lost the train of thought. Shit. I had another point, but oh well.
And killed before the opening credits even rolled, establishing a tone of despair and grief for the whole game. Yeah, that bitch. And I'll tell you why. Some of my OG subscribers may remember a movie review that I did for a film called Keep Watching, starring Bella Thorne, and it also starred Chandler Riggs, who is better known as Carl from The Walking Dead. And in that review, I talk about the fact that Carl from The Walking Dead was my first...
Would you argue that he looks more of a hiccup? Fair enough.
No.
Major celebrity crush when we were both like 13 years old. I was absolutely obsessed with him. I would tune into the show every week just for the sake of watching him. But at the time, a certain atomic bomb dropped on the internet and completely broke my heart. And it was that Chandler Riggs, Carl's actor, was very publicly dating an actress by the name of Hannah Hayes. And who was Hannah Hayes known for playing? Sarah from the Last of Us video game. And I fucking hated that bitch. Mind you, this was 10 years ago. I think everyone involved in this situation was like 13 to 14.
How is this relevant? Like, does it relate in any way to the topic from earlier? Like, She basically hated an actress, or a character, and linked the actress to the character. I'm trying to understand what's her point here.
Years old, myself included. You know how it is when you're that age. So from then on, I did not shed a tear whenever Sarah died at the beginning of that video game. If anything, I was incredibly satisfied that she did not live past the opening title. Obviously, I'm completely over all of that. I have nothing bad to say about Hannah Hayes, but for some reason, I never stopped hating Sarah. Every time I look at her stupid pixelated face, it just reminds me of how much anger I was filled with when I was 13. In full disclaimer.
Subjective? I don't know how to answer to this. It had no point.
I mean, there's no way to answer it with her opinion.
Yeah, like this is full on her opinion. She qualified things earlier.
I don't know how to spell it. Fucking hell.
It's all good.
Metaphorical?
No,
metaphorical.
That doesn't sound good. The word is subjective.
Yeah.
The word is it's only her opinion and it affects only her. Us complaining about the casting and the so far the information we have of the approach the movie will have during production, we can infer based on that information that the movie is gonna have a poor quality of writing.
All right, perfect. I have the translation. Substantively.
Okay.
There's no substantively.
Oh yeah, there's no substance to it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I have not seen the Last of Us television show. No one come for me, that shit is a commitment. But I'm sure Nico did incredibly. It's just the character.
So she didn't even see the show that the actress she is praising. Oh god. For example, yeah, Ben and let's say Ben and Sam and Salt never saw How to Train Your Dragon at all. Like they didn't even know what it was. If we brought these things to them, do you think they would agree with us that it's a poor decision overall? And so far, the casting, so hiring basically an actress that doesn't, to put it nicely, an actress that doesn't look anything like the character she's supposed to portray. And it doesn't matter if it's a he or a she. Like, let's say if we had an actor that looks nothing like Hiccup at all, like.
That live action is always bad because there's some.
Oh no, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, yeah, as an individual that doesn't give a fuck about the franchise or the story or anything. If you heard the case that they're adapting a previous movie, and they're changing the look of one of the characters drastically,
I won't even care because I never was heard of.
would you agree it's still a poor decision when it comes to adapting the movie?
It's cheap.
Yeah. I would argue it's a pretty major problem considering, for example, Tom Holland getting a lot of hate for being Tom Holland Spider-Man getting a lot of hate that, oh, it's not like the comics Spider-Man. I'm like, so you're complaining about adaptation, right? So what is the like what are we supposed to follow? Is it characteristics? Is it physical appearance? Is it the costume or the clothes? Like what are we supposed to focus on when we adapt? I would argue it's all of the above. Like, yes, when you adapt, you can make your own changes to the thing, because you cannot do a one-to-one recreation without like getting something, like losing something somewhere. Either you lose quality of writing because you focus so much on matching shot for shot, or you're losing quality of the visuals, as in it looks kind of bad because it's trying to be as accurate as possible. Perfect example is like Lord of the Rings. Like the movies aren't one-to-one from the books at all. Well, my cat decided to wake up. But yeah, would you say it has an effect on the quality of the movie, whether it's only physical appearance or not?
I wouldn't, because I didn't see the end product, but
Yeah, fair enough. Dart, do you have anything to add?
I can't feel bad for that character. It's forever tainted. So those are the only issues I have with the casting so far. Again, they're not even issues, really. I, for one, have a lot of faith in these actors. I was really debating waiting until the full cast was announced to make a video like this, but who knows how long it's gonna be before that happens. The funny thing is, I recorded my auditioning for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon video the day before the casting for Hiccup and Astrid was announced, and I made a joke about Alihi Cravalho watching her back, because at the time, that's who was rumored to be playing Astrid. But as I sat down to edit it, it was announced that it wasn't her, so I had to completely take out that bit. The funniest one to me was Joel Edgerton being rumored to play Stoic. Why? Just get Gerard Butler.
It doesn't matter how the character looks or the actor looks. It's you're not a fan enough to accept this change. Like, can you see how hypocritical it sounds when compared to the points she made earlier? Wait.
Wasn't her, so I had to completely take out that bit. The funniest one to me was Joel Edgerton.
So, would you argue he looks close to Stoic's face? Forget the beard. The face. Dart? Okay. I would argue he has at least the eyes and the
Alright.
gruff look.
just the brand.
Yeah, but she argues that this is a poor decision when the character like looks similar enough.
Have some magic.
Yeah, exactly. Like I am 100% sure you can turn Joel Edgerton into Stoic with makeup and beard and whatever the hell. But what about Astrid? Are they just gonna give her a blonde wig and like paint her white to look accurate? Like what are they gonna do is the question. And why is this a bad decision when it comes to casting compared to Astrid? Like it's very hypocritical of her to make this statement.
Being rumored to play Stoic. Why? Just get Gerard Butler. Like, of all the actors, I feel like he's the most accurate you can even get to live action Stoic. And of course,
That's because Gerald Butler voiced Stoic in the animation. Because I would argue they don't like Stoic and Gerard Butler don't look the same at all.
Of course, I'm really excited to see who they're going to cast for the other Dragon Riders, but again, who knows when that's going to be announced. I'm probably most concerned with the way that the dragons are going to look, Toothless in particular, because again, they have less than 2 years to make this giant CGI blockbuster happen, and I have a feeling some derpy designs are on the way. But that's going to be all for my take on the live-action How to Train Your Dragon adaptation so far. If you'd like to support me on...
What do you think of her take so far? I would say it's poorly founded, not biased, because I've seen her other what? Yeah, it's mostly like her perspective on movies and casting and how movies are should be enjoyed technically.
This is just her opinion, not the fact.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In her other videos, where she has a series of videos where she critiques season 1 of 9 Realms all the way till season 5. And in those videos, she does the same disclaimer. This is just my opinion, yada yada do. However, she argues plot holes, she argues character development, she argues how there's a lot of inconsistencies in the show with the world, with the stories, like some that I pointed out. The hidden world goes from being a hole in the ocean to a crack in the mountain. The dragons are basically the dragons basically have translucent wings. That's because they're drag and dropping 3D models from previous shows into their new shitty animation engine. They're constantly on crunch time. The seasons release every 3 months, and there's 6 episodes in a season. Like, there's a lot of bad stuff that she points out, which is like objective criticism. However, she puts everything under the umbrella of opinion, which kind of weaken like why. Like, stick to your criticism because it's good criticism, and when it's bad criticism or like you make a mistake, just take the blame. Like, yeah, you made a mistake, you're human. Most likely I made some stupid mistakes throughout this live stream, but then again, I'm trying to clarify my points as much as I can. Her response to this is basically, it doesn't matter what the character looks like, just enjoy the franchise, which I'd rather have the franchise die than watch it get turned into Star Wars 2.0. Like, after the second movie came out, they made a really like childish cartoon where the dragons would talk and shit. Everybody there lost their minds because, oh my god, this is the How to Train Your Dragon universe and the dragons can talk now. What the fuck? And it's been stated by the writers, it's not canon. And then the franchise stopped hating it. Like, the fans stopped hating it because it's not canon. It doesn't affect what we love. This does. But like what we love as fans. Like, if they turn Toothless into like some fucking horrible mixture of a dog and a cat, with shitty CGI, yeah, no, fuck you. If you have Hiccup, not be Hiccup at all. Like, he's not just intelligent, but he's strong, he's agile, he's like the pride of the village from the get-go. That's not Hiccup. That's poor adaptation. Like, she glosses over it because I think she has the stance of just enjoy the movie. But I could also be wrong on that. But the main idea is that when you adapt something, either stay 100%, like, I would argue you should stay as faithful to the original as possible. And if you are gonna unless you want to try to make something new. And if you do want to make something new, go nuts with the something new, because you never know if it's gonna be good or bad, loved or hated, because it has no anchor point. Like the issue is they could have made just a new franchise altogether, new characters, new dragons. It's so much easier. They could have taken off so much weight from their like directing and casting issues. Like I really don't know why she has this stance, considering she does like genuine criticism most of the time. With the TV show at least. If you guys had let's say DreamWorks knocked on your door to write How to Train Your Dragon live action, how would you go about it?
No, because I'm not looking like any. If they want to make the accurate adaptation, but it also depends on that.
No. As in, like, they knock on your door. You're the director. You're the guy in charge. How do you write it? How would you write it? What setting? What characters would you? Would you like do a one-to-one recreation, kind of like the Lion King, where you remake the first movie? Or do you create something new, like new character? Like, what would you do if you were in charge of this title? It's How to Train Your Dragon. That's the theme, or that's the goal. It has to feel like How to Train Your Dragon. How would you go about it? You wouldn't go for it at all. Okay, fair. Salt. Same scenario.
My response is that's my
Really?
Honest reaction.
Wow. Is there like, wouldn't there any like, is there no ideas that would interest you into in this franchise? Like you would get full reins to do anything with the story in this world. Wouldn't you do something you want with it?
if I can recreate.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're the person in charge of making the How to Train Your Dragon live action.
I'll do one episode. Every country has a dragon, and I'll use historical painting of dragons, and that's
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense because if you think about it, uh, you can argue that that's how they depict their dragons, and in our world, we depict our dragons a bit differently. So it could work. It could be an interesting movie, actually, to see how and why there's so many types of dragons around the world, how they're linked, and how to face each of them, I guess. I would.
and after that it's the world tournament.
Fair enough.
Welcome to the new episode of
Actually, that could work. Like, every country has a specific like breed of dragons, and they have a world tournament where they train them to fight and all that. Like, that could be an interesting story for How to Train Your Dragon, or at least a start concept for it. Because it has nothing to do with the original.
And
What?
how to train your dragon.
Well, that could work. Again, they did something similar in the show, in the Netflix show. They had an episode where they had cage fights with dragons because they got kidnapped. Like Toothless and Hiccup got kidnapped, so they forced Toothless to fight in the cages. Like you could have a concept like that, but like worldwide in like what, modern era, medieval times. Fair enough. Like that could work. I would argue that is something similar to How to Train Your Dragon based on the title alone. If I had the chance to write it, I would just I would simply like not do it, I guess. Or go something not similar to Salt. I'm really in between. I really don't know how I would approach this if DreamWorks knocked on my door and said, "Right, How to Train Your Dragon live action." I would argue maybe if you wanna connect the two worlds, as in like don't do it because the fans wouldn't approve of it, and like go full bore nuts with something completely fresh. I would try like maybe a couple years, like let's say 80 years after the third movie, and you have either new cast fully or descendants of the original dragon riders and work off of that. There's so many things you could do, actually. Like it's unlimited potential, yet I don't know, it's so fucking limited in the from what it sounds, because they're going for Hiccup and Astrid, so we already know their story. We already know what's gonna happen to a degree. So they're gonna try to add something new to surprise us and subvert expectations, because apparently that's the bare minimum requirement to make a good movie nowadays. So they're gonna write shit, most likely, based off of like recent movies, Terminator Genesis, Predator. The last Predator movie is so stupid. If you guys seen it, thank God you haven't. You're not missing a lot.
I'll see the new Barbie movie.
Are you gonna wait? What? There's a Barbie movie? Why?
I don't know, but I'll watch it just for Ken. Okay.
How do you even make a Barbie movie? Like, what is it gonna be about?
Just check it. Barbie movie about what? Barbie?
Well, yeah, but what? Like, what's the story there? Is it like Toy Story but live action or something? Or is it just another Toy Story spin-off called Barbie? Like, what is it?
I'll send you the
Oh God. Oh God, that looks so horrible. Oh no, it's from Warner Bros. too. Oh no. Oh, that's no bueno. Yeah, that looks very, very cursed. Why would you watch the movie?
check the actor
Wait. 1 second. Barbie. I can't believe I'm typing this. I need to wipe my history after. Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Yeah, he is a Ken looking motherfucker.
Like him.
Fair.
And I like not every.
Wait, what? There's a second Ken? Played by Simu Liu? What? There's 2 Ken? What?
Yeah. It's every Ken variant, every Barbie variant.
Jesus fucking Christ. Why is Will Ferrell in this fucking movie?
Just watch.
Michael Cera, what the fuck? Oh, Sarah, sorry.
Right, I have to go. I think for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. John Cena, what? No fucking way they're dragging John Cena into this mess.
It's Barbie.
Oh god, I really want to delete my search history after this.
You'll see now. Now you see why I'm.
Why would I want to watch? Oh. Oh no, they also have America Ferrera. No, the voice actress for Astrid. Why? What? What? Wait, what? Actually, are there any movies that you're looking forward to besides Barbie?
I watched the last Spider-Man.
Oh, the No Way Home?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that one. I completely forgot about that one. I haven't watched it. Do you think it's good?
It was long for it.
Fair enough.
Like, is long enough, but first half of it is.
Fair enough. I mean, it makes sense if you want to do like good world building or like strong world building. Because you can't just have characters doing whatever they want. Or like, you kind of have to explain how all of it works. Because from the last movie, whenever a character from the multiverse arrives in a different universe, they glitch out and die.
That's the same thing, but they trying to save the universe. But not Miles. Not Miles that Miles is trying to find another way to save the universe because it's fucked up to let people die. I'm spoiling right now. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I forgot what's the future Spider-Man.
Miles no, Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah. That guy was not positive by letting Lisa die.
Oh.
And this is like Miles' father.
Shit.
So you see where it's.
Oh, come on.
And I wish in the part 2 of the movie they Batman
part 2 of the movie. Whoa. Oh, come on.
They are trying to this.
Well,
It's kind of understandable.
well,
You don't want to make 3 hours movie.
I gotta see. Well, why not? Avengers was 3 hours. Endgame. I really gotta see the Spider-Verse movie. Because if there are moments where they could cut stuff out and
There are too many creatures
too many cringe. Oh.
on the
Should we break? Should we watch Spider Verse? Like Welcome into the Spider Verse and break it down? I'm down for that. But of course, another stream. Like we go beat by beat. I'm gonna grab like a piece of paper and take notes throughout the movie. To be fair, Transformers has is so bad is good category, as in like
you don't really have expectations for.
I do have some expectations from. The thing is, Michael Bay really tarnished the Transformers reputation because the story on its like the Transformers stories from the comics, from the cartoons and whatnot are pretty good. Like they're not bad or horrible. Like yes, there are sometimes stories that contradict themselves a lot, and most of the shows have a very low standard of quality when it comes to the writing of each episode. But overall, as a series, so let's say Transformers animated series, overall is liked. It's very liked by the Transformers community just because it does its own thing. Like it took the Transformers characters that we all know and love and gave them a new look and a new purpose. In Transformers Prime, it's basically the Bay universe, but if the story actually was like focused on instead of just the flashy explosions. There's also a lot of retcons and changes throughout the lore of Transformers. Like in certain cartoons, they're created by other robot, like another being with 4 faces. In others, they're like created by Primus, which is Cybertron as a planet robot thing. Like Cybertron transforms into Primus. There's many variations of the story and changes completely in the story because they have the freedom to do what they want. But the Bay movies did nothing with the story. Like the Bay movies is just fancy explosions. It's shit. Even the first one has like a boatload of problems. Actually, what other movies are coming out soon? Like, there's nothing, there hasn't been anything that interesting coming out recently. That's I'm trying to think of movies that are gonna like could possibly get a sequel or like a remaster or a fucking full on remake, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Now on my head, I want the cyberpunk, but Keon side.
Kill on Sight?
Keanu Reeves side.
Ah. I haven't heard of it.
He's a rocker.
I haven't heard of it. Is it basically the Cyberpunk 2077 story?
Yeah, but more.
But in movie version instead of gameplay version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more depth.
Fair enough. I'm interested in that one. I'm gonna look at that one too. Is Star Wars putting out anything new?
I wish not.
Like, I know they released Kenobi, which was like horrible. I don't know if it's worse than the Mandal. I haven't seen Kenobi. I've only seen bits and pieces, and I've read posts about what happens in certain episodes. So I kind of have a misinformed perspective on it. But from what I've heard is that Obi-Wan is not around Luke, and he's like out with Leia exploring and doing adventures. And from that moment, I kind of realized, oh fuck, they're gonna ruin Kenobi. Because Kenobi's job was to protect Luke from Vader on Tatooine, not go fuck around with Leia in like space and like get her captured or something. I've seen the fight between him and Anakin, and it's basically the fight from Revenge of the Sith, but worse or slower. I don't know. Like, it didn't really catch my interest. The fight, like the choreography of the fight. Also, I've heard that Kenobi loses his powers at certain points, or he gets weaker with the Force, or some shit like that. And I'm like, why? Kenobi was like, if Obi-Wan can turn into a Force ghost, wouldn't you argue that's like strong enough to, I don't know, lift a fucking cup? Or perform like Jedi mind tricks? I would argue that requires some training and like power to do. Dart, are you back? Apparently not. What did you think of the video we just covered? Overall, like, either its quality or what you thought of the discussion overall. Salt?
The discussion overall is that
Was it
election stuff, like fictional movie, reducing them to real action.
Yeah, it's hard to do there.
On some, because The Witcher was.
I just don't understand why would they limit themselves with live action. Make another fucking animated movie if you want more. Make a story that's like, I don't know, 300 years into the future. Like, instead of Vikings, it's I don't fucking know, knights of England, and they face dragons in their own way. Like there, you have infinite possibilities. Hell, it could be during the same time as the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, and like different corner of the world there's another version of Hiccup. Like he's not the only one fighting for the dragon's safety, let's say. Like you could do so much. It's so annoying that they're like doing a shitty cast for characters that are beloved and like have a pretty complete story, and then they ruined it with a TV show, and then now they're adding salt into the wound by making like a live action version. It's so annoying. But like, do you think her video, like, do you think her YouTube videos are horrible just from this one?
Not the type of judging about.
Fair enough. I was hoping you would say that. I would argue you should give her like, well, if you're interested on more of if you're interested more in the topic of How to Train a Dragon going down the shitter, her 9 realm critiques are like fairly on point. Of course, like there are certain points where I'm like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, her critiques are pretty accurate when it comes to characters and the story. And they're very entertaining, in my opinion. They are 1 hour long, though, so you can listen to them in the background.
I'll wait.
There were sometimes where I wonder how many brain cells I have left.
1.5.
By the way you typed that sentence, I think you have a quarter. It's not many. Yeah, Ninja is having fun in the chat.
Yeah, wanna do some funny thing after this?
Well, we're basically at the end, so to make it clear, Salt, thank you very much for the introduction song. Like, I love it, and to be honest, you should make like a music channel, like where you randomly post whenever you make a song.
I'm the crackhead type, so
Well,
it can be one
every month. Well, that's the thing. For example, the song you made for me for my intro, you can post it like on there and gain views for it. Like, Leo, your comments are broken. No, they're not. Arson, like Arson texted in the podcast chat thing. Welcome to the modern time where everything we love as a child. Are you sure? What? I didn't see that one. Sorry. Oh yeah, we watched all those episodes and went through a lot of emotional damage. Salt, speak up. Yeah. I showed Ninja a couple of her videos of Audrie's videos about the 9 realms, and I think we made it to season 2 or season 3. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was a lot of damage dealt in like season 1 and 2 from the get-go. Um, are you, but are you thinking to ever make like a YouTube channel or something to promote?
I don't know. I don't see myself doing a career on YouTube.
Fair enough.
I'm just here to enjoy myself.
Well, you're always welcomed, mate. And you're part of the crew, like. Actually, I think I have enough footage of you to make an intro to add you to the intro. We'll have to go through the footage. Supreme Rap, hello. Accurate image of how I was after those. The dude who falls on the stairs meme. Yo, mate. Apparently,
I kinda imagine it like.
What do you mean? Oh. I wonder if Dart is okay. Actually, let me try to. Oh, fair enough. Well, wow. What do you?
After dinner, you take a shower. That's the rule.
Wait, that's a rule. After dinner, you wait. Isn't there a rule that you have to wait like an hour after you eat to go in the water?
That's for swimming.
Well,
you don't swim in the shower.
Well, no, but isn't it the same concept? You're still like, if you have a bath at least, you're laying in water.
Yeah, my shower like looks like one of those on the. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Oof. You need a new shower. And welcome, Supreme Rap, to the podcast. We actually kind of finished going through all of the points.
Come up live action rap.
Oh yeah, yeah. Live action adaptations are basically like the worst written works in general. Because they have to like either go one-to-one recreation, which sometimes they can't, or they go so far off like it's an insult to the original creation. What did you send this time? On wait, you're playing War Thunder? Alright. I'm gonna take a short break, then join you as quick as I can. Thank you for coming on the discussion. Sorry it was a boring topic for you. Did you expect it to be the more interesting?
No.
Wow. Well, at least thank you for taking part in the discussion, because even though you don't like the franchise, you do have like you kind of have a perspective we don't like the franchise. We love the franchise, you don't, but considering you can agree with us on certain on most critiques, we kind of have like a proof that it doesn't matter whether you're a fan or not. Certain stuff can be critiqued and like explained why they're bad. We have apparently the video killed Ben and Dart. There's apparently certain videos kill people on the podcast. Like some people don't make it through till the end. No, we didn't start at 6, mate. We started at 8.
We were 6.
What's the time right now for you?
We were 6.
Oh, we were 6 people. We lost. Oh yeah, we lost Sky, but Sky said he wouldn't even be able to be on. So Sky was a very, very welcomed addition. By the way, I forgot to do this when Sky left, but he left in a rush. So go subscribe to Sky's channel. I'll put his channel in the description. He's a pretty chill dude and very friendly. Same goes for Dart. Dart, are you here to promote your channel to any degree? Salt.
So my channel is that one. If I go to 10k, I name it Fat One.
Oh no. The thing is, if his fans actually see this, they will fucking go apeshit on it.
Make my channel to 10k and I rename my channel Fat One.
I don't me and Dart do not condone what Salt just said. Unless Dart makes a post and he's like, yeah, go on, 10k subs, I'm changing it to Fart One. Unless he officially sends it, I don't think he's gonna change it. But you guys should subscribe to Dart. His animations are pretty amazing, and his videos are very entertaining. He does War Thunder like us or me mainly, and unlike me and Ninja, he basically focuses on the animation tool in War Thunder, and the animations he made so far are wow, they really impressed me, and he's helping me work on animations myself. So please do subscribe to him. He's like a legend among us. He's starting to take the reins from Ninja as the big YouTuber. Actually, wait, let me see how many subscribers Ninja has and how many subs Dart has. Because I'm laughing my ass off if Dart overtook Ninja in subs. Dart 1,200, yeah, 1,280k. No, 1,280 subs. Ninja has 1,530. Oh, it's close. It's close. Yep, Dart is very close to overtake Ninja. So go subscribe to Dart. Also to Meme Ninja. He's also a pretty chill dude. Even though he wasn't on the podcast today. It's fine. Yeah. Ninja right now is on a break though, so no videos, no recent videos for now. And that basically concludes the stream. Wait, is Ben doing anything? No. Ben basically dropped the YouTube thing. I think so. I don't know. I guess it takes a little bit of convincing, or I don't know. Well, maybe he will do something. Hope so. But other than that, that concludes the stream and the topic. for now. Meme Ninja, I press F for you before Dart 1 passes you. Oh no. Arson the Legend is warning Ninja. But yeah, I hope next week we're all gonna be again on the podcast. Hopefully. Well, wait, we can talk. We're gonna talk about Spider-Verse next topic, right? All right. I assume you're gonna be on.
Yeah.
I hope we can get Ben on board as well, and Dart and Sky. I'm giving my condolences before it happens. Isn't that bad luck though? If somehow this podcast helps Dart overtake Ninja,